the best part of my day is word on the street.
Word on the street, word on the street, and
With a
music.
very good pot of coffee this morning. Hey, look at them.
So Nora and Maya here. We're actually down at Hamden Government Center.
What is that? I don't even know where is that? Like the middle of town, like where City Hall is?
Yeah, City Hall.
Okay.
It's right by the police station.
Yes. It's like all one building.
Yeah. It's like a sandy, I don't know what this building is made out of. But I
and
just
you have a
heard
camera
that.
on you.
So, oh yes. There's also documentarian Roxana here filming. But so we're going to jump on with some town officials who are here together celebrating International Women's Day. So we're going to get on that.
Okay. I can't wait to see who. What are they doing?
And there's a little baby over there.
Oh, okay. I couldn't figure out. I was like, what is happening?
It looks like there's some plants growing. It's spring.
Oh, there is something coming up.
Are we growing babies now? Is that what we're doing?
Yeah, we're interviewing
What's the word on the street?
1-year-olds. Okay, so could I ask everyone to first introduce themselves? Maybe start with Lauren.
Good morning. It's International Women's Day. I'm Lauren Garrett. I'm the mayor of Hamden.
Okay, over here.
Oh,
Hey.
Hello, hello. I'm Dominique Baez. I'm the president of the Legislative Council. How are you today? Good morning. My name is Melissa Kaplan, and I am the chair of the Hampton Board of Education.
And over here.
Good morning, Karima Mickens, and I am your town clerk. Hello.
that's my Zora. Hey, Karima.
So it sounds like they can hear us pretty well. Yeah, so can I ask all of you, what is the word on the street?
The word on the street is that women in power don't come naturally. We have to fight for it, and we need a support system. So we're all here today because we have support systems, and make sure that if you want women in power, you give a support system to women.
Okay, so could you all tell us a little bit about that support system, how you provide that to one another, what it looks like, why this crew of people?
It looks like trust, right? It looks like trusting each other, being able to communicate, understanding the decisions we make are built on a good moral compass, and trusting each other's judgment. I think that's what it looks like.
It's about collaboration. It's about clear communication and making sure that we are aligned in our vision. And when we're not, that is an opportunity for a space to create an open dialogue.
And it's everything that they said, and I'll just add the diversity of thought, just respecting each other, and working towards a common goal, and just showing up as our authentic selves. And so that's what it looks like. And the word on the street is that it's International Women's Day. Hello.
Nice.
So is this the first woman mayor of Hamden?
No. There have been two women before me, a Democrat and a Republican, right after each other, but it's been a couple of decades. So it's definitely the first time in Hamden that we have had 4 women in powerful positions. So I'm really excited about this. I've been wanting to take this picture for a while now, and today was the perfect day.
Yeah. And all of you have been in office since November now. Dominique, I mean, all of you have, for the most part, held public office in Hamden before. But I'm wondering what the experience has been like serving in these top offices alongside one another. How does this support system actually help you do your job?
I think for me, just understand, so we're about almost 100 days in, I think. And it's been a really great opportunity, taking a look at the different systems and, what's happening, and, just trying to, get a lay of the land, right? To see what our opportunities are. And I think for me, the support is like knowing that these women are here, that I can reach out to, that I can bounce ideas off of. It's just something unique about when you get a bunch of women in a room. We just look at things differently, and I appreciate it. So for me, it's just been great in collaborating and leveraging expertise across the board, because we all bring something different and unique to the table. So.
Could you maybe give us a concrete story also of when something that has happened in the past 100 days where you were really happy to have one another? Maybe you called on a female colleague. I'm not sure colleague is the right word, but fellow official. Is there a good example of that?
Twice a month we have a leadership meeting. Twice a month we're like, and in between each of those meetings we constantly are in communication. If there needs to be an update, if there needs to be a change. This is like a really smooth road in between each branch here, so that we can figure out and bring things to the table, bring things to the public, bring things to a transparent way that we can all communicate about town business. I think, we have an item on the agenda. We need things to move forward. We need the departments to be able to communicate to the council members. It's been very smooth, a very, very easy road to talk. Yeah.
And before any decisions are made, there's always outreach to get feedback from one another, to share thoughts. So I know the Board of Ed has a bunch of big votes coming up that we've already taken. Lauren and I have had a series of Zoom meetings. Dominique called me one day in the car while I was about to pick up my kids, saying, "Hey, Melissa, what are your thoughts on this? Share with me." And that's what we're looking for, is really the idea that we are accessible to one another, that we share thoughts with one another, and that we are open to each other's perspectives, and that we have a tremendous amount of respect for one another.
Yes.
And I think that really is so foundational in what we have established.
Yeah, I'm also thinking about shared life experiences. Dominique has a really cute daughter here today. I'm not sure if all of you have children, but I think probably raising children at the same time that you're leading a municipality sounds pretty challenging and just complex. I'm wondering maybe if you have any thoughts on that, of what it means to like have other working moms in that leadership team.
As
What does that
a
look
mom
like?
of a toddler currently, I find a lot of support in the women around me, and that they're okay with me bringing a baby to a meeting. Yes, they're okay with me coming today, having my child with me, or being on a Zoom and Zoe pops her head in. And I feel comfortable with that, because I understand that people are caregivers, people have families, and there's no judgment there. This is a world and an age that we live in where we have to understand humans aren't in a vacuum. We have all these different players around us that, are integral parts of our life. Especially.
Oh, she's really so.
Toddlers, I have to do that all times of the day.
Anyone else? I realize there are four of you.
I don't have any babies anymore.
So I think a lot of us, at least for myself, it's also part of what drives us to do what we do, but also to recognize that women in positions of authority are also excellent at multitasking. And I think, as Lauren said before, it's important to recognize that it also is about having a support system. And for so long, right, that we've seen men, right, having it all. And the reason why men have had it all for so long is because women couldn't. And we're taking that back.
Yeah, and I also wanted to add, like, Babs likes that. That we like to talk about this on Word on the Street, specifically why you're here today. You sort of said that you're coming together to take a photo. Could you tell us about even the significance of coming together for that photo? Did you even realize when you were running? When was the point that you even realized that you had gotten all women into these top offices? Dominique was voted president of the Legislative Council, Melissa, president of the Board of Ed. Of course, we already knew about Lauren and Karima, but was there like even a moment of realization there?
No, I don't think I realized it. Yeah, I don't know. I knew Lauren and I, we were on the top of the ticket. And then, when Dominique and Melissa were appointed, I don't think I had a moment until probably just now when we took the picture. There are a lot of places that we share spaces in. And one of the things I want to call out that I appreciate is that they'll pick up the phone and say, "Hey, do you know about this?" Like they're making sure that I have a seat at the table. And I really appreciate that because I'm not in every room, right? And they're in some rooms that I'm not. And when they're in the rooms, my voice is there. They're speaking about me and they bring that back and they're making sure, that I have an opportunity to get there. But I don't really think I realized it until just this moment when we took the picture. And it just, I took like a breath, like, oh, this is amazing. So that's for me. I don't know.
I don't know if it's these like these positions that I was thinking about, but during our campaign season, when we were taking pictures, I think is when I realized that we had a female heavy slate.
Yes.
And I was like, look at her, look at this lady power we got going on. And it's like each individual, we're lining up, we're trying to pose, we're getting ourselves together. Each individual, you look at them as characters, you say to yourself, okay, this is a person who has a good head on their shoulders. Just as an individual, you just wanted to be with each person during that. And you're like, and we also are ladies. Does it correlate? I don't know.
I mean, and you also all won by a landslide in the Democratic primary, but I'm wondering if there were any specific challenges that you all bond over, maybe obstacles in the campaign process of campaigning as women as well. I don't know whether that's like a functional hardship of raising your kids at the same time that you're supposed to be going out every night with your slate to like knock on doors, or the way in which the public was painting, the media was painting you, Lauren. I don't know. Any thoughts on that?
So I actually didn't find it to be challenging at all. And I do have to give a lot of that credit to Lauren, where she created a strong relationship among all of the candidates right from the very beginning. So by establishing those connections early on, it really made it seem as though we are all in this together, and it was a group collaboration. And so you'll go back to all of her speeches and all of her pep rallies, and it was always like, we're doing this together. And she has always been so generous in her gratitude, and I echo those sentiments that it wasn't a hardship, because we were doing it as a group, and it wasn't just kind of this individual endeavor. It never felt that way.
So I want to echo a thank you to Lauren, because the brunt of having a campaign and then having we've had such a positive time with this, but there was a situation during the campaign where there was a specific target toward Lauren that was sexist, and to have her take those bullets, we had to be there in solitude. We had to be there together to support her during this position, during this time where, some people might not have seen it be blatant as we did, but when we work together, we say, okay, we're supporting one another, we're building each other up, because there's work to be done. There's work to be done. It's about the town. It's not about how people look at us and our gender.
Can I ask a question? So Mayor Lauren, this is International Women's Day, and I can't help but, I remember running for office and winning office in New Haven. And the questions that were asking me, 15, 20 years ago are the same questions that we're still asking women about children and home care. We never ask men these questions. A man mayor could stand right there and no one will say, well, do you have to go pick up your kid at daycare? Or how is it juggling home and whatever? What do you hope for women in politics into the future, since we are on International Women's Day?
It's a great question. I hope that women will be judged by the policies that they write, by the words that they say, and less by the fact that we have these presumed gender roles that make it difficult for us. Babs, you're awesome. You have helped women get to where they are. And so many women before us have helped all of us get to where we are. So I think that's what International Women's Day is about. And I have this awesome team with me who were so supportive and continue to be supportive. And the campaign that we ran that was all about a team continues today because we collaborate, we communicate, and we don't surprise each other. We make sure that we have the conversations beforehand so that we're always functioning as a team.
Yeah. And what's on the agenda for the rest of the day to celebrate International Women's Day? What does that look like?
Yeah. Where's flowers somewhere? I can't remember. I got a text about.
Where are we meeting for cocktails? That's what I.
I'm actually headed to class. I teach Women and Gender Studies senior capstone. So we are going to celebrate at Quinnipiac. So that I'm excited about.
That's
very
interesting.
nice.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go sign some papers over at the council office because we had a meeting last night, and then I'm gonna work on some Excel spreadsheets.
Yeah, so we'll be swearing in someone new today for
Yes.
the Board of Education. So I'll be there this evening to do
Wait,
that.
who's getting sworn into the board?
There's a vote.
We
Right?
have a vacancy. And so we have 3
Oh.
candidates. And it'll be exciting to see who gets the vote.
Cool. Lauren?
I have a full day. It's budget season up in the mayor's office, so we're reviewing with finance, and it's pretty time consuming. Lots going on, press releases galore, so we're working it.
I'll read those.
Ooh,
I'm
all that
also wondering-
excitement.
Also, I thought we should maybe take 1 minute, Roxana. Can we turn the camera? I just thought it was interesting. So I think Roxana's out here today also filming a documentary specifically on these women.
Yeah.
Good friend Roxana.
I know. Okay.
Oh, you slip into Connecticut and you don't call me. You come all the way from Florida, you don't call me, girl. I gotta see you live on the street.
Sorry, I really put you on the spot.
I tell you what, you better call me before the day is over, girl.
But could you tell us a little bit about why you're out here?
Sure.
Maybe give people a little bit of context about your past in government.
So first, hi Babs, how you doing?
You better call me today, girl.
I will. Yes. So I lived in Hamden for 12 years, and I recently moved to Florida. But before I left, I was just part of the transformation that happened here in Hamden, and it is just amazing today to be here with these 4 amazing women who have taken upon themselves to be leaders of this town. But this documentary, the title is One Town at a Time, is really a reflection of mine about just the transformation that's been happening here, thinking about Martin Luther King Jr.'s ideal of a beloved community. And I think that the transformation that's been going on here really is about justice. It is about building a better community. And that's revolutionary, really. Prior to this 2021 election, prior to that election was a town where the leadership was not representative of the town. And then within 3 years of struggles, people losing races, but getting back up and running again, along with a lot of political education, knocking on doors. I mean, the folks that are in office now worked for it. They weren't just friends of friends, but they worked for it. And part of that work was to, what is and inviting people to come for the ride. And by doing that, wow, transformation had, just really happened like in 2-3 years, where we have a woman mayor, a woman town clerk, head of the Board of Ed, head of the Legislative Council, are all women, and diverse women too. So it's not just the good old boys club. So that's the documentary is about that. And don't forget the youth. In this documentary, we're going to be talking to young people too, because when we talk about a community, we're talking about all of the people that make up the community. And hopefully this can. Okay.
Well, Babs and Harry, do you have any final questions?
No, she better call me I know one thing. She better call me before she go back to Florida, or I'm gonna come to Florida.
You just want to come to Florida.
Well, there is that.
I am going to call you, Babs. Absolutely.
It is good to see. This is the best International Women's Day ever. To see this kind. You know what? We need some of this girl power in New Haven.
Here we go. Yes. Absolutely. So you got to make it happen.
Oh, girl,
Documentary part 2.
I'm all over it.
Okay. All right. I hear you. And I'm going to have to come see you because I was videotaping her camera. So I'm going to need a release form from you. So you can be part of this documentary.
Absolutely. You got it. Whatever you want.
All right. Sounds good.
Okay.
Woo! All right. Thank
Thanks,
you.
everyone.
Oh,
Back to
thank
you,
y'all.
Bob.
This was the best Women's International Day ever. Oh my God, that was so good, Harry.